A very warm welcome to the viewers of onlymyhealth.com. 9 months of pregnancy are a period of great physiological stress and strain on the mother. So she needs to put on at least 7 to 10 kilos of weight during these 9 months. The pregnancy period can be divided into 3 trimesters. The first trimester is not so challenging. The growth of the fetus is slow and the mother may be suffering from morning sickness which will not let her take too much of food. So that time, if not enough nutrition is being taken, it's all right. But the second and the third trimester become very relevant, where the growth really picks up and the mother has to cater to her requirement, to the requirement of the fetus. So a high calorie, a high protein, a good nourishing diet is suggested and recommended for her. Eating well is the motto. Now I will suggest to you certain pregnancy diet rules which a woman has to follow. All in a day, the woman needs to eat at least 5 small meals, maybe 3 large meals and 2 snacks which are rich in proteins in between. Never starve herself because the fetus will be demanding nutrition from her all the time and it will keep her undernourished and not healthy. The calories which she needs to eat has to be taken from carbohydrates, proteins and fats. She should go in for healthier protein options. Before we get into the food sources, it is important to understand that proteins are very necessary for a pregnant woman because the fetus tissue has to be built and developed, her own body tissue needs to be built and developed, and there is an expanding blood volume which greatly has a demand for proteins. A normal woman needs about 1 gram per kg ideal body weight of proteins. So during pregnancy she needs to eat an extra 15 to 20 grams. So I would suggest that if she takes a glass of milk more than what she is actually having, will take care of the protein requirements sufficiently. Low fat dairy products should be good sources of protein as well. Say for example yogurt made from toned milk, paneer made at home from low fat milk is going to be very beneficial for her. Vegetable sources of protein which would be just ideal are tofu, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds will give her good amount of protein. From the animal sources, she should preferably take more of egg whites, less of yolk, less amount of saturated red meat and those which contain and are high on fat. Taking 5 small meals or 3 major meals and 2 protein rich snacks in between would be very beneficial for her. The idea is that she should be taking adequate calories to provide her with energy. I would recommend that she, besides the normal requirements of calories for a regular woman, a pregnant woman needs to eat extra 300 calories which can be obtained suitably from complex carbohydrates. The refined and the processed carbs should be avoided because they give only empty calories and do not have the benefits of useful micronutrients. I would recommend whole grains to cater to the requirement of the carbs and will give her adequate energy. They also contain sufficient amount of fiber. Coming to the protein sources, she needs that extra protein because her own maternal stores, her own body tissues are growing, the fetus is growing and developing inside her. It needs, the cells in the tissues need protein. So the good protein sources would be vegetable proteins taken from whole pulses, legumes, soya, tofu. From animal sources, it should be low fat dairy products. like paneer and yogurt made from toned and double toned milk. Fats are concentrated sources of energy, but they are useful. They have to be eaten because there are a whole lot of functions which fat performs. For a pregnant woman, I would recommend about 4 teaspoons of vegetable oil and 1 teaspoon of desi ghee every day. But my dear friends, not more than that, because these fats are energy dense and they tend to make a woman put on too much weight, which will be difficult to shed later. Besides carbohydrates, proteins and fats, the pregnant woman needs to take a lot of whole fruits and vegetables. Juices taken from the preserved cans and bottles should be avoided because they are very sugary and not at all good for health, because they contain a lot of color and preservatives which a pregnant woman needs to avoid. 8 to 10 glasses of water definitely is required to keep the body hydrated and to keep the metabolism at its best.